So I'm just trying to make you feel comfortable if you don't like the Nono Skin. No one's raising their hand. Right? Aaron loves this product. He's the most skeptical, like, think of a reason not to buy something person I've ever met in my life. It's like +1 version of Dola, right? You're going to be skeptical about everything, right? Yeah. He loves Nono Skin, right? So what can we do with our collar? Where's the value proposition on Nono Skin with our collar?
Our personal experience.
But how does it make it valuable to the customer we have on the phone?
The one thing she said that I didn't know was the long-term effects it gives. So a lot of times if they're using something, it takes 2 weeks for it to get into their system. This is immediate.
Okay, so that was something you learned that maybe that gives you a lot
I
of
knew we got
confidence.
rid of it, but I didn't realize it even went deeper in terms of long-term results as well.
Awesome. So seeing that picture where you saw that the lotion can actually penetrate that top layer of skin.
Right,
Okay?
and it's not just doing that zit, it's doing preventing against other zits. What I'm saying is
Right.
killing all of the bacteria deep into the skin, so even the ones that are starting to come up are going to be killed.
In that area?
In that
Absolutely.
area.
I told them, the only FDA approved device for acne is
Clear.
It's the only device that is FDA cleared to heal. To heal.
Use that word, or else you get a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
a good
those
word,
people
though.
that are gonna call you, I don't know if you know that, but all those people that are working for other companies and everything, they're calling you, and they're going to try to catch you on something.
So let's
I won't
talk.
scare you. Don't be, but.
Let's talk a little bit about this. Remember your questions, because I want to talk a little bit about this. So, help prevent acne, right? That's what all the other products do. They help prevent acne. How many people know someone who uses Proactive, any of the other products that help prevent acne? Raise your hand. Keep your hands raised if that same person has had a pimple since they started using those other products. One pimple. Did anybody put their hand down? No. That helps prevent acne. These are two different products. If you like Proactive, use Proactive. That's awesome. If I have a call on the phone, they're like, well, my kids use Proactive. That's cool. This solves a different problem. What happens when they get a pimple? Because it does not matter who you... In fact, Proactive is the first people to say, oh, and we also have this other thing so that when you do get a breakout, it's a cover-up. They sell it right there on their show. So they say, oh, this is to help prevent breakouts, and then this is when you get a breakout. Right? Preventative isn't going to help all the time, right? You're going to get pimples. And so Proactive obviously is a great product. It's helped millions of people. We don't even have to talk about that. We're talking about a completely different solution. So where is the value proposition? What's going to make it valuable to the customer? Becky.
When you find out why they called in, what their specific problem is, and you tell them that it works, and you tell them that it's a lifetime solution, that their whole family can use it, they only need to purchase it once, there's no replaceable parts, and that as soon as they even start feeling that soreness, it's like, get in there and start zapping it, and it's going to be gone.
So like the cost is ridiculously low.
Oh, yeah.
People be like, oh, I use Neutrogena face wash. It's only $13 a bottle.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life. Right? That's exactly right.
If they make it that long. Do you know how many people we were monitoring calls from this recent test, and there were like quite a few. We just pulled 10 random calls, and I can't remember if it was 5 or 7, but Sarah said that they were all people who had gotten hooked on a Neutrogena over-the-counter product, and they don't make it anymore. And Neutrogena is actually, they do a lot of that. Like I'll see they'll come out with, I don't know, something's blue and something's pink. Like I think they kept the grapefruit line on the shelves for a while, but they're constantly changing their line. So it was pretty amazing that, like 5 or 7 out of 10 random people.
Yeah. I want to talk about two different things with Nono Skin, because on the one hand, we've got these calls coming in that are just Nono Skin advertising. So I want to put that on the shelf for a second. I want to go back to our Nono Hair customer, the person who called in to that hair on the face. Where is the value proposition to sell them a Nono Skin? Why do they need it? What is their deep emotional need? Why are they needing it? Think back to the people that have bought it. Why did they buy it?
This was right here.
The no-no skin.
Because they don't have this
I'm saying you have a no-no hair customer on the phone, and then you offer a no-no skin. Why is it valuable to that no-no hair customer?
The one I had today bought a no-no hair for me and his wife. And then I said, does anybody have problems with acne or pimples? And he said, you know, we have a granddaughter that's just terrible. What are we going to do with that? So I told him about the no-no skin and he bought it right away. He said, you know, I might too. Well, I get it too.
Okay, so let's try and tie that into a generality so that we have confidence in what we're offering here. A lot of our customers are people that are in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s. So they have children and grandchildren. And we know that people that age, they're starting to get to the point where they don't need their money, so they're looking for things that are fun to do with it, right? They're not like 20-year-olds who literally need every dime they make. People in their 40s, 50s, and 60s have extra money. They have disposable income, so they give gifts. So the need to give a gift is a deep emotional need of our standard caller, right? So we should have confidence to sell a no-no skin on a call. That's the deep emotional need we're trying to solve for them, right? Why am I going through this? Because a lot of the reason, you could add $10 to our average order value if the no-no skin is pitched on every call. If we just pitch it every call. But for some reason, we trick ourselves into thinking it has no value to this customer. And go and listen to 100 pitches on no-no skin. You'll hear people pitching it as if it has no value. Let me tell you about this product real quick. I know that you don't need it and aren't really interested, but I have to because it's my job, right? That's how we pitch it. So I'm trying to think, what is the reason to pitch it? What are the deep emotional needs? What's another one?
Ask a question right there. Do you know anyone that struggles with acne? Because everybody knows somebody that has zits and that doesn't want, nobody likes a zit on their face. I don't care if you're 50 or 20. You do not want a zit on your face. You do not want this beacon that to you, when you're talking to someone, you know that all they're doing is looking at your beacon on your forehead. Everybody has it in there, knows what that feels like. It's like when a grandmother knows that a grandchild is going through that, feels for them. There's your deep emotional need.
Yeah, maybe we could even tie the deep emotional need to the grandmother. You know how you're paranoid that people are looking at the hair on your face? Yeah, your granddaughter is paranoid that people are looking at the pimples on her face. You got to get this no-no skin. It is the only FDA-cleared device to heal acne. And it works amazingly. Let me tell you, I have one. I use it all the time. Anytime I get a pimple, I use it. It's gone within 24 hours. You've got to get this and try it out. It comes with a full 60-day triple guarantee. I'm going to send this out. Is that okay? Or then tell the price. 3 payments of $37.68 or whatever the price is. $36.67. So it's going to be 3 payments of $36.67. I'm going to send this out to you, okay? I'm going to send this out to you, okay? Right? If we did this, our normal skin conversion rate has already come up from 2% to 7-8-ish% of our orders are buying normal skin. We could get that to 15+%. We could get that normal skin percentage to 15+%, right? So we want to increase the average order value. And what today is about learning about Neova, learning about the product, gaining more confidence in the product, gaining more confidence in the value proposition, learning about no-no skin, gaining more confidence in that value proposition, and giving that confidence to our customers. Why? Because at $302 average order value, right? All of the costs of the entire campaign, the media, the call center, the fulfillment center, the customer service, all of the partners and the marketing and all that kind of stuff is packed into that $302 per order. If you take that up to $320 and you add another $18 to that order, the product cost on that $18 is about $2. For every $20 in product charge for a product, you have $2 in product cost. So the rest doesn't come with a cost, right? It's all margin. What does that mean for us? Well, you heard what Sherry said. That was a huge key when Sherry said that. The Neova we have sold over the phone has created the money to do a Neova infomercial, right? This comes back to where we build our clients' business. We're the ones who make it possible for them make life better for us, right? And so if we can find a way to increase average order value up to the $320 rate, that is very powerful for our client, very powerful for us, both in the short term, because you make more commission per call, and in the long term, because the client's going to be around longer, right? With even more products. Okay, now let's talk about No No Skin on the No No Skin infomercial. What's the, one of the things that we're learning, we were just talking about this on our performance call today. We're learning that the customers, how many people have answered just a No No Skin call in the last week? We haven't had a ton of them, but, okay, so you're getting some of these. How many people's customer was a younger customer?
Much younger.
Well, I thought she wouldn't have a card, but she did. She sounded like she was 60.
And she had a card.
She had a card.
Be careful, because I sound like I'm 25 and I'm 51.
And be careful too, 60-year-olds have pressure.
Yeah, I didn't say that. She
I
sounded
sound
like
like
a
pressure.
Can we not get credit card?
You,
Because you get a debit card.
There's no way to verify.
Just take it.
if you know they're below 18, you cannot sell them a product over the phone.
Really?
But we don't
If
ask
Holly
for
called
the age.
in, if Holly called in, they would think she was.
If Holly called in, you would think she was a 5-year-old. I'm dead serious. Every time Holly answers the phone at our house, they say, "Can I talk to one of you?" Every time. They say, "Can I talk to one of your parents?" Our visiting teachers came over to our house. I was sitting on the couch. They saw me. Holly answered the doors. They said, "Can I talk to your dad?" Yeah, so don't prejudge. But we've got this younger caller. Now here's the deal. The No No Skin is $200. Okay? $200 to a 20-year-old is like $2,000 to a 40-year-old.
Wait a minute, I don't know, because what are they paying for the jeans?
I didn't say they're not willing to pay $2,000 for a pair of jeans, right? But $200 to a 20-year-old is a lot. Think back when you were 20.
You're not paying for the jeans with you.
Connie, right? How much is $200? We got one right here.
$2,000.
It is a lot of money. I don't just have $200 sitting in a random bank account waiting to be spent. And on top of that, I'm a millennial, so if I did have it sitting there, I want it sitting there. I've been listening to Dave Ramsey since I was 13 years old. Okay. So $200 is a lot of money to the caller that's calling in. How are we going to create that much value? I had a gentleman, I'll tell you a story. I was sitting in the guitar store last week, made a mistake. I had to take my guitar in because the fretboard is worn down. The frets are worn down because I played it so much. So I had to take it in to get it repaired. And then while it was repaired, I will sit here and play some of these new guitars. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing this $4,000 Taylor guitar. It's made out of this special kind of mahogany, and I was just like freaking out. It sounded amazing. It made me sound like a way better guitar player than I really am, right? So I was freaking out. And when you're in a guitar store playing these acoustic guitars, it's a private room that is temperature sealed, soundproof. You go into this so you feel kind of special, okay? Because it's like, do not touch unless, but they knew me, so they're like, oh yeah, come on in, you know, touch your way in there. So like, I'm sitting here playing this guitar, and there's this older guy in the room also playing the guitar. And I'm sitting there playing, and all of a sudden, he didn't say, we sat there for 20 minutes playing guitar. Neither of us said anything to the other person. We were just totally in our zone, loving what we were doing. And he turns to me, and he looks at me. He says, do it. Now this guitar was $4,000, okay? And he's like, and he says, do it. He saw the look, I saw the look of just hunger and lust on my face for this piece of wood. And so I'm sitting here saying, oh my gosh, I wanted it so bad. And he's like, do it. And I said, don't talk to me. Right? This is what your customer is saying. Don't talk to me. I'm trying to think of reasons not to buy. Don't interrupt. I was panicking in my brain, thinking, Marion, you got to do this, you got to do this. You want to take your kids camping this summer. Don't spend $4,000. My mom. I rely on my mom in this moment. Don't spend $4,000 on a guitar, right? And this guy, in 2 words, totally kicked my mom right off my shoulder. He's like, why? Why not? Why do it? I was like, dude, just don't talk to me. I'm having a hard enough time already. That's what I told him. Just don't talk to me. He said, well, you got to think about it this way. It's $4,000, and you're going to have it for the rest of your life. So over a 10-year period, that's only $400 a year to have that guitar. Over a 20-year period, that's $200 a year. He says you're going to live for at least 40 more years. You're not willing to spend $100 on that guitar? Then you're not into guitars. And then he started to tell me, then you would know.
Did he work there?
No. He didn't work there. The reason I tell you this story is because if you're talking to a 20-year-old, now, you would never have this conversation at the beginning of the call because they haven't said no yet. You're damn going to tell you no. That's when it starts getting powerful. But if you're having this conversation with a 20-year-old and they just said no to you, you ask some type A challenge questions, tell me more about your reason not to buy. You ask some type B challenge questions, tell me more about your reason to buy. Right? And then you say something to them. I know that you're young, and I know that you're really excited to get over this problem, so I'm excited for you also. Here's the thing then. For the next 40 years, you're going to get pimples. And $200 for the next 40 years is $8 a year. So let's just, or $5 a year. So let's just get this done. You want to use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. Because this no skin is going to heal every pimple you get. From now on, you know that you don't have to be worried. Whenever you get a pimple, you have a solution for it. Even before anybody can notice it. When you first feel it coming on and you got right in the corner, and say this to him so that they're grossed out a little bit. Paint a picture. Right in the corner of your nose and you have this sinus headache because you know you got this huge pimple coming on and you're petrified to talk to your, to the guy that you like at work that day. Yeah, you're going to go to work that day and you're not going to worry about it because you'll forget you even used the normal skin. You'll use the normal skin and then you'll forget you even had a pimple. So it's $5 a year for the amount of time you're going to benefit from this product if you want to use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. And help them understand. And we know that those millennials will buy into that long-term thinking. They love that, right? They love planning ahead.
Did you buy the guitar?
Yeah.
That guy quit closing. I said quit talking, he quit talking. I had more fear than he had. We had a deal, right?
Yeah, we did.
20 $2,000 car agents. 20 of them when I get my guitar. So I've got work to do.
20 more, or do the other ones have to count?
20 more. Oh, I'm not going to cheat now. 20 more.
You made that deal with somebody after you've been with that guy. Well, it's figuring
Yes.
out how to do it.
Well, yeah, there's no question I got to go get that guitar. That has to happen. It's
I think one of the big things too with the no skin, the offer that we have now, guys, you can take that guitar and bring it into a private room.
Oh, yeah.
Test it out yourself. This is a trial offer. You can even tell the person, look, you don't even have to make a full commitment to us today. Take it, use it, and I guarantee that you'll love it so much that you don't have to worry about sending it back or anything like that.
And we always know that when we're talking about the offer, we want to paint a picture. Right? We always know that everybody knows that, right? When you're talking about the offer, you paint a picture. So here'd be a great picture to paint. You know what we're going to do? We're going to send this out there. We're going to let you use it for the next 30 days because we know that in the next 30 days you're going to get a zit. It's just going to happen. Make it sound nasty. That's it. Not like cool like a pimple. You're going to get one of those gross zits on your face in the next 30 days. And we want, when you get that zit, we want you to use this. And we want to see how fast it is. And how awesome it is. And we know when you see that, you're never going to want to let go of that thing again. You're going to protect it with your life. So it's 3 payments of whatever the price is, $67. Okay?
Okay, what are the customers that are saying that they saw the pinball commercial, they buy one, get the second one free? Yeah. What's that one?
That's really good feedback.
That's on the no hair, not the.
That's on the.
Because they showed it.
Oh, the reason they say that a no hair is because they show the silver one and they show the pink one. And so they're thinking that, it never says that.
They always see what they think, they always see what they want to
They only shows one device. That makes you happy. I wish I would have done that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. but they somewhere in the commercial, it mentions 1995.
Yeah. On which show?
On one of the hair, on hair.
I know which commercial it is.
I would love you to send me the call ID
Yeah.
when that happens, so I can look up immediately and throw that.
I know which commercial it is. It's like they're showing the free face and say 1995 value.
A 1995
Oh,
value.
okay.
But I want to pull back to this no scan because I'm going to let you go in 60 seconds.
I have a question on the upsell to the Nono Hair. Because the Nono Hair gets the 60-day money-back guarantee, does the Nono Skin get that same guarantee?
Yes.
Yes, always.
Yes.
No.
Everything on that order gets a 60-day.
On the Nono Hair, on the Nono Hair calls, yes, your Nono Skin gets 60 days. On the Nono Skin calls, it's the 30 days.
Yes,
But on the upsell.
On the upsell, everything on that order is under the 60 days.
On the Nono Hair upsells. Listen. Up here. Erica, up here. I'm going to answer this one time for everybody. On the Nono Hair, every product that you sell has a 60-day guarantee. Okay? However, on Neova, if they send back the Neova bottles, they pay the shipping to return the Neova bottle. Okay? But on the Nono Hair, all the upsells get 60-day guarantee. Okay, one other thing.
That's not true, Mariah. What
Says that in our script.
Will you say that again, because I missed?
On the Neova upsell, on the Nono Hair campaign, if they return the Neova bottle, they pay return shipping to return that bottle.
If they do it without the normal stuff.
That means, so right now,
We can update it.
that's what our script says, so that's what you guys say until the script
if
changes.
they return it without.
That's what they do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
If they just return the Neova, they keep the Nono Hair, they keep the Nono Skin.
Well, we're actually pitching it with a bunch of tips, so they're not actually thinking that they're gonna send that.
Yeah, they don't have.
They don't even friends
Okay.
that
It
at all.
doesn't matter, we really have like a handful that.
Yeah, we're never really.
And as Vince said, they're not sending the Neova back, even when they.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to be taking these Nono Skin calls here this week and next week, right? We're going to be continuing to take these calls. One of the big things that we want to do on the Nono Skin infomercial, we want you to focus on two things. Take control of the conversation and use the script. Okay? We're looking at ways, we're trying to listen to calls, see how the customer is reacting to the script, and then make the appropriate changes in the script. If the agent doesn't use the script, then we don't know how the script works. So when we're listening and we're giving away these Nono Skins, that's what we're listening for. Basically, you just want a Nono Skin because you did a great job using the script and giving it power, right? So that is what we're listening for on Nono Skin. Please engage with us on this project so that best practices learned on one call can affect all calls, right? Use the script and give it power. Any other questions? You've got Charity and Vince and Sam and Kaylee. I'm never going to get it right. I will. Kaylin. Okay. And then Sal. That's not really point, just Sal. Okay. Any other questions for them?
What's your response when they say, well, how many of these get sent back?
Of what?
The Nono Hair, the Nono Skin.
This is always my response on this, on any product when people ask that question. You want to know the awesome thing? People that send it back are the people that don't use it. If you use this, you're not going to send it back. If you will use it. And what I would love to do, and then the great thing is on Nono, we have this awesome tool to use whenever they bring that up that adds even more value and confidence. What I would love you to do is write this website down, howtonono.com, and go to that website for tips and tricks, because that's going to ensure that you get the very best results. But you have to be crazy to send it back when you're getting back good results. That's how you talk about it.
No, talk about the website and not just
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Always
that's
do
right.
that later, at the
Yeah,
end of the
at
call.
the end of the call.
That's right. Any other questions?
On the Neova, does that get rid of like the sunspot? Like, is that what it's called with repair, or is that impossible? Like, it really does help to get rid of those. That's awesome.
And age spots, right?
Oh, age spots. Art.
Yeah. I'm a guy, I don't know.
I just told you, it's not aging, it's not chronological, it's not better.
Oh, yeah, I have another question.
Okay?
And if people say, oh, if we ask them if they have get pimples, they say we use Proactive, can we say that ours is, that no skin is better than Proactive?
Oh, hold on. That would be like saying that the 49ers are better at football are better at basketball than the Chicago Bulls. The 49ers don't play basketball. No Skin does not do what Proactive does. The two, Proactive, let's say No Skin is a 10 on a scale of 0 to 10 at what it does. Proactive is a 0. It doesn't do what No Skin does. No Skin is a 0 on the scale of what Proactive does. It doesn't do what Proactive does. However, people think that Proactive heals pimples. They think it does, but it doesn't do that. So these are two different products that do two different things. And it's a real big advantage for you, because if the person loves Proactive, you don't have to argue with Proactive. Just say, awesome.
If they never had a breakout because of Proactive, they were fine.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right?
And questions with
You
questions.
know what?
It's same thing with no hair. Is the person gonna call you for no hair if they really like to shave every day? No, they're not gonna do it. It's the same thing with no skin. And the truth of the matter is that no matter what you use to wash your face, if you're still gonna get a pimple, but that doesn't mean you don't have to wash your face.
The girl that I sold on the skin call, she actually said she used Proactive and she hated it, which means she was probably looking for what No Skin does. The Proactive is clearing the value rate.
So just explain to them that they're two different things.
Questions
Two
with
different
questions.
solutions.
Yeah.
However, you don't want to spend your whole call talking about Proactive versus No Skin. You want to spend your call talking about their need and our solution.
What I would do is I would go straight into the benefits of no skin.
Yes.
Which is better.
Because generally, if you respond with it's better, they're already going to discount, what you have to say anyway. If you just say, oh, this is better, that's what they expect you to say.
Right.
It's not super valuable, it's kind of a waste of time.
That's just an awesome opening to talk about what No Skin does. Actually, what is awesome about No Skin is that rather than just getting rid of the bacteria on the surface of your skin like all the other treatments do, this actually penetrates deep down in the dermal layer of the skin and it's going to eliminate bacteria all the way down, which actually heals the pimple. It's the only FDA-cleared device to do that.
And the only reason I asked that is because, like, you know how with like your doctor, you can't talk about pitzel or
Other
whatever.
products.
Well, you know what, guys,
Right,
anytime
but
you have
speaking in comparison.
anytime you have to build up a product by
Right.
tearing another one down, it just looks small.
Listen to what.
Wash your chest every night with Proactive. You don't wash the back of it with Proactive. And you don't wash your butt.
Unless people are looking at it a lot. Maybe it's getting a lot of sunlight. I don't know what we were talking about there. Listen to what Colleen just said.
You guys want to talk about the value of a product, because anytime you ever have to sell a product by tearing another one down, all you do is make yourself look small. And you make that product, you devalue that product. So never belittle something
Yeah,
else.
if they mention it, just say, here, use that. You're gonna love this then.
Yeah. So
You're gonna love this
value.
because when was the last time you got a pimple? Like last week? Awesome. This is the only FDA cleared device.
And I'm gonna remember
They heal
today that I've
some
never said before, that's gonna be in every time I pitch it now, which is all natural. I've never pointed that out before, but I think these millennials are definitely into that. The all
Yeah.
natural
It's
thing.
no
There's nothing
chemicals.
natural about Proactive.
The reason we're talking a lot about millennials is if you don't know,